Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Hey guys, welcome back to the Language Tutor Spanish. Yo soy Danny, su profesor de español, and I'm so glad you're with me on this episode. This is a really cool episode today because this is a viewer request. Someone sent me a message with this idea on it, and I said, absolutely, it's a really good lesson idea. So just to let you know, whenever I get a good lesson idea like this, I usually keep it on a list on my computer, and I start scheduling to film them as fast as I can. So you might be asking, how did they send you a message? Well, all they did was go to Facebook and type in the Language Tutor Spanish, and they joined the Language Tutor Spanish Facebook page. And if you click to join, I'm going to let you in as fast as I can, and we can start communicating. And you'll see a lot of great ideas and a lot of Language Tutor community members there passing around grammar points and just all kinds of great things there. So definitely do that. And hey, if you haven't clicked subscribe here on the channel, we would definitely appreciate it. And hit that notification bell so that you'll never miss any of our lessons, because we have great lessons coming out all the time, brand new ones, all right? So let's get going with today's lesson. First of all, I want to cover three words, and it's these three words right here: desde, hacia, and hace. Now you might be saying, wait, I've seen hace before. You have covered that. Yes, but at the end of this lesson, I want to give you one new way to use hace. It's going to be cool, all right? But let's start with desde. So first thing I want to do is tell you that desde can mean since, or it can mean from. Now, when I say since or from, I could be talking about a time reference, or I could even be talking about an origin of something, where something is coming from or where it comes from originally. Either one, either time reference or origin. It can be either one of those. Okay, so let's kick things off first by just getting some examples up here, okay? So I want to use this example. I come from Puerto Rico, all right? Now, in Spanish, I'm going to use desde like this. Vengo desde Puerto Rico. Vengo desde Puerto Rico. Now that can mean actually two different things. It can mean that's where I come from. Another way to say where I'm from originally. It can also be maybe you're in an airport and somebody says, where are you coming from today? And you say, vengo desde Puerto Rico. That's where I came from this morning or whatever. So it can be either one of those. So desde can mean origin in that sense. Now, let's look at it, an example with it meaning since, S-I-N-C-E in English. Something, it gives us a time frame now. Here's a sentence for you. I had not seen him since the meeting. Okay, let's use desde for since like this. No lo había visto desde la reunión. One more time. No lo había visto desde la reunión. So I had not seen, or I have not him seen, the lo at the front, since the reunion. So that's one way you can use it as a time frame when you saw somebody, okay? Now, I want to change that sentence slightly and follow desde by a verb, okay? And when we do that, we're going to add a little word in there. And it'll make sense when you see it. So let's change it to this one. I had not seen him since we were kids. Okay? So we're going to follow with were now. So I had not seen him since we were kids. Here's what it would look like in Spanish. No lo había visto desde que éramos niños. See, when it's followed by that verb, it makes more sense to say que before éramos, because, well, we've gone over que a bunch in a lot of past lessons. So that's what it would be. No lo había visto desde que éramos niños. All right, so there again, it's setting a time frame. Okay, now let's look at it meaning, well, from in English, what we would say from, but still a time frame, okay? If I were going to say, from now on, indicating from this moment, okay? From now on, I'm not going to drink alcohol, okay? Maybe that's a good idea for you. Great. So From now on, I'm not going to drink alcohol from this moment. So we can say, desde hoy, no voy a beber alcohol. Desde hoy, no voy a beber alcohol. So from this moment, from today, we can use desde like that. Now, I want to give you a quick list of some other ways, phrases that we can use using desde. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what they mean. So first of all, we can say desde luego in some situations as of course. It's kind of tough to make sense of that, but look up some examples of that. But desde luego can mean of course. It's kind of like sometimes we say things in English and we go, how does it mean that? But it does. Like when we ask people, what's up? Well, what's up? It doesn't really make sense to foreigners whatsoever, but it does in English. Okay, you can also use desde hace. You can use hace after desde to indicate time frame. So for example, if I said for 3 years, I could say desde hace 3 años. You see what I mean? So from it makes 3 years. It's kind of weird, but it makes sense in Spanish. So desde hace can indicate how long something has gone on. Here's one. Desde mi punto de vista, from my point of view, desde mi punto de vista. Okay, so that's one way we can use desde, same from that. Here's one. Desde el primer momento. From the first moment. That's kind of almost sounds romantic. From the first moment. Desde el primer momento. Okay? Sounds like something good's going to follow it, but we don't know what. Okay, so here's one. Desde siempre. Since always. Like, look, we've been talking about this forever. We could use desde siempre to indicate forever. So it's since always, from always. Okay. Now, here's another one. Desde el principio, from the beginning. Desde el principio, from the beginning. Here's another one. Desde hace tiempo. Now, that sounds a little strange. Since or from, it makes time, but it indicates for a long time. Okay? Also, you can use desde like this. Desde lejos. From far away. All right, desde plus the word hasta can also mean time or distance. So here's an example. Ellos viajaron desde Bolivia hasta Ecuador. So they traveled from Bolivia to Ecuador. You've heard me say Bolivia is one of my favorites. I love it. Okay, I've given you quite a few examples of desde. All right, so try to bring those into your conversation. I want to now switch to this word, hacia. And hacia can mean toward or around. Okay? In certain situations, I'm going to go ahead and say in certain places because I'm going to give you an example now that some people would say differently, but it makes sense, and it's used in certain places, but in other places not. I'm just opening your doors here. Here's an example first, though. I'm telling someone, walk toward the park and turn left at the 2nd Street. Because hacia can imply toward, so that's how we're going to say toward, hacia. So walk toward the park and turn left at the 2nd Street. Camina hacia el parque y gira a la izquierda en la segunda calle. Okay, there's a lot to it, but it makes total sense. Camina hacia el parque, toward the park. Now, it can also mean in reference to something that's not necessarily physical. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. Her attitude toward me is not good. I hope nobody's saying that right now. This is what it would be in Spanish. Su actitud hacia mí no es buena. Su actitud hacia mí no es buena. So her attitude toward me. So that's really just kind of a state of mind, really, right? Rather than a physical place. Okay, now here's the one I was telling you about a second ago. this is one way to say it. You're also going to hear people say it a different way, but it demonstrates the use of hacia. I could say, some people might say, I'm going to arrive around 4 o'clock. You could say this, voy a llegar hacia las 4. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and say, some places would probably not say that. They would say a eso de las 4 instead of hacia. But it is a correct use to use hacia, and you will hear it probably in some places not. So I'm all about opening your door, broadening your horizons, so you'll know at least that it could be used that way, okay? Now, the final thing I want to go over with you in this lesson is the verb hacer in a new way that you maybe you haven't seen it before, maybe not, I don't know. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but we're going to use hacer as the word ago. Ago. Something happened 4 years ago, for example. All right, I'm going to use the example. I graduated 1 year ago. Here's what it would look like in Spanish. Me gradué hace un año. So I graduated, because this is a reflexive use. Me gradué, it makes 1 year. So that totally makes sense in Spanish. I graduated, it makes 1 year. Hace un año. So you can use hace plus a time frame to indicate the word ago. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? So bring that into your conversation. All right, guys, and with that wraps up this lesson. I hope this has been a beneficial and helpful lesson for you. And bring these into your conversation. Practice all the time. That is definitely the key. All right? And also, check out the Language Tutor Spanish podcast, because you can practice what you learn on these lessons on the go. All right? I hope to see you there. Hope to see you on the Facebook page and also right here on the YouTube channel for more great lessons. I'll see you soon, mis amigos. I wish for you paz y bendiciones, peace and blessing. Hasta pronto.
Friends, thanks for watching The Language Tutor. If you have a question for me, feel free to leave it in the comment section below the video. And please click subscribe and the notification bell so that you'll never miss any of our language lessons.